Hi everyone, today we're going to be making a creamy tomato soup. And it's so easy. Here are the ingredients that you need. I like to use tomatoes on the vine. I got these from Sam's Club. Onions. I don't like to mess around and peel my garlic. Some Parmigiano cheese. Some fresh basil, I just picked it from my garden. Italian seasoning, pepper, salt, olive oil, and some heavy cream. Okay, so now we're going to start with our tomatoes. What makes this soup so good is we're going to put them in the oven. So we're going to roast these tomatoes. And I just like to give them this kind of across all the way down to half. I'm going to continue doing this to all your tomatoes. All right, so here I have probably between 3 to 4 heads of garlic. Like I said, they're already peeled. And I'm just gonna throw them right here in between the tomatoes. And now I have my onion. Cut the ends. I like to get the skin, cut it almost all the way through. And then that way it's really easy for you to peel. And see how it comes out. And the onion, we're gonna do a really rough chop. Just cut it in half, and then another half. So in 4 parts. Into 4 quarters with these. Again, just right there, in between. And we'll do the same to the other onion now. Half again. Half again, and there we go. All right, so now the reason I like to do my tomatoes like this is because I love to put the oil for it to seep in between the tomatoes, the salt, and the pepper that I'm about to throw. So now we're gonna grab our olive oil and just douse these babies in here with all that oil. Salt. I like mine a little on the coarser side. We can do it how you choose. And again, just get all that salt right on top of them. I've set my oven. I'm using my small oven because I want to get a roast on them. And now we're going to put some pepper on them. So I'm going to use my small oven because I like it to, it gets really hot. You can use your regular oven. If you're going to use your regular oven, I would suggest doing it at about 375 to 400, depending on each oven. You're going to put them in there for about 20 to 30 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, I would suggest to really up it, either doing a broil, put them in there for about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on your broil, or do up them like to 425, 450 for the last 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven now. All right, so now we're gonna put our tomatoes in the oven. Like I said, I love to use these little toaster ovens because you get a nice heat and you get a nice roast on them. I have mine set at 400. Gonna do anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes and let them roast, let them do. You don't have to do absolutely anything. See you in the next one. All right, so now these have been there for about 30 minutes. They have a nice roast on top and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and add all my tomatoes to the blender to liquefy them. There's always gonna be juices on your pan. Make sure you pour that in there from all the oil and the tomatoes. All this is golden. Pour it all in there. All right, so now I'm going to liquefy this. You want to do it really nice and thin. So for a good 2 minutes to 3 minutes. All right, everything is well blended now, and I'm going to bring it to the stove, pour it right into the pot. Okay, we're going to have the heat on a medium heat. We're gonna add our Italian seasoning. about a tablespoon worth. We're going to add our heavy cream. I'm going to use the whole pint. Now this is a very rich, creamy soup. If you want it more thinner, you can always add some kind of chicken broth or which will help too. And then I'm just going to add my basil. I like to add it whole. If you don't want to have that basil whole in there, you can always chop it up and blend it with your soup when you put in your tomatoes in there. But I like this rough chop. We're gonna let this cook, come to a boil for about 5 minutes. We'll add our cheese, bring it down to a low simmer for another 5 minutes, and then you'll be ready. Now our soup has come to a boil. I'm going to bring it down to a simmer, and I'm going to add our cheese. I'm going to add about half of this cheese right now. See taste that we get, if I need to add more. And this is where you'll taste to see if you want to add some salt. Remember, we added salt in the beginning to our tomatoes, and the cheese has salt. So you want to taste it before you add any salt to make sure that it's salty enough. And now we're going to let this simmer for another 5 minutes, and then you can enjoy your soup. Alright guys, so now our soup is done. It has simmered for about 5 minutes. It's nice and creamy. Like I said, you have a nice creamy tomato soup. And we're going to enjoy our soup with some grilled cheese. Alright guys, we're going to enjoy this. If you guys end up making it, let me know in the comments. Like the video. See you in the next one. Bye.